The motion is adopted and without...
Just hours before it was set to expire, the controversial U.S. Patriot Act was given new life and will be extended for another 4 years. Democrats in Washington have, for almost a decade, argued the U.S. Patriot Act, intended to combat terrorism, was instead allowing law enforcement to spy on Americans' financial, medical, and telephone records, as well as emails. In 2005, Senator Barack Obama even pushed for the act to be reformed.
We don't have to settle for a Patriot Act that sacrifices our liberties or our safety. We can have one that secures both.
The Patriot Act was enacted hastily in 2001 as America struggled to fight back from the September 11th terror attacks.
That's the way it was. We were on the floor. We had to vote. Nobody knew what was in the bill.
As the Patriot Act was implemented, Democrats and civil liberty groups protested. They claimed the White House under President Bush and supported by conservative Republicans was transforming the U.S. into a police state. But most Democrats on Capitol Hill only seemed to revile the Patriot Act when Republicans controlled the White House. Now, 10 years later, with a Democrat in the Oval Office, they're no longer complaining about the expansion of police powers stifling civil liberties. In fact, it's just the opposite. Even though he spent years arguing the Patriot Act must be reformed, Democrat Harry Reid is now using his power as Senate leader to rush an extension of 3 of the most controversial provisions in the act through the legislative process after just days of debate.
The Patriot Act is about protecting our homeland, and we're going to continue doing that.
In fact, just one junior Republican senator led the objections against the act.
We're all concerned about terrorism too, but we don't think you have to give up your liberties in order to combat terrorism.
Still, in a Congress usually divided equally along party lines, a majority of Democrats who once promised to reform the Patriot Act instead this time voted with their Republican rivals. Kimberly Halkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.